Hey Rockets, it's Miss Sanders here. Welcome back to our 2022 marching band season. I'm going to be showing you how to read a coordinate sheet. So if you have never learned how to read a coordinate sheet, or you've forgotten, or you need some more in-depth information, feel free to grab your sheet and follow along with this little screencast. So before we actually get into reading it, we need to figure out some basic terms. So right now, our football field is set up on our screen here from the perspective of the press box, stands, audience director, or front ensemble. So this is where all of that is. So let's go ahead and talk about some of our important terms. So our yard lines are the ones, the really long straight lines that run from sideline to sideline. So we have our 40, our 30, our 20, and you'll notice they repeat on both sides. And then the ones in between are like the the 5 yards. So we have 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, etc. So those are all of your yard lines. Then we have home hash. The home hash is the set of dashes that run across from end zone to end zone. And our end zones are all the way here at the end. That's where the football players are trying to get the ball for a touchdown if you are not a football person. So that's our home hash. It's the one closest to the home sidelines. And then the visitor hash is the furthest set of dashes away from us. That's closest to the visitor side. The home sideline is all the way down here. This is where our front ensemble is going to set up. And this is where, like during a football game, this is where all of your players on your team will stand, is down in this area at the sidelines. This is also where we put those big orange pylons that tell you what the yard numbers are. On your coordinate sheet, you're going to see the letters HS, and that means home side perspective. So that means your coordinate sheet is written when it talks about like which side to be on, whether you have to be on the left side or right side, it's going to be written from the home side perspective. You are not going to be setting your coordinate sheet from there all the time. So just kind of keep that in mind. Then we have two more terms, inside and outside. Inside means going towards the 50. Outside means going away from the 50. Then we have left and right. So again, it's written from the home side perspective. So when you're setting your coordinate sheet, you want to make sure that you are standing facing the back sideline, back the visitor hash here. You want to face that direction. And that'll tell you to either go to the left side or the right side. So, drill charts and coordinate sheets are two very different things. Sometimes we get them mixed up, but they both have their own advantages and disadvantages. So, drill charts are these big pictures. These show the entire band and all of its members. They give you the entire picture of one set at a time. It doesn't specify the spacing, it just shows you the picture, and it's written from the director's perspective. And then this is a coordinate sheet, which you've been given, that shows you only the information that you need to have for you, just the important stuff. It's going to give you all of the sets in your song or in your movement. In this case, this coordinate sheet is for movements 1 and 2. You'll have your own coordinate sheet by itself for movement 3 and another one for movement 4. This gives you your very specific coordinates down to the quarter of a step. That's how close it gets you to certain things. And it's written just for you. That's why there's a symbol and label number here at the top. So that way you know this is Q1. So if you're quad player number 1, this is just for you. And quad player number 2 is going to be a little different. So most people just are given coordinate sheets, but if you have a drill chart, this is great, but you do not need to have this as your only resource. You really do need to have your coordinate sheet because it's going to give you all the specifics. So reading the coordinate sheet, your sets are all numbered over here on the left-hand side. The first set is where we line up on the field before we start playing. This is how we'll march onto the field and where we will stop before the show starts. Then we start getting into our counts. Those tell us how many counts we have to get to a set. So notice set 1A, 1 and 1A, you don't have any changes in this information here. That means you're not going anywhere. You're not moving. This is called a hold. So for this particular set, we don't move. We stay right here. At least Q does. Q1 does. So this is a 25 count hold. Later on, you'll notice that it does change and we have 10 counts to get to set 2, and this one's different. There are two columns on your coordinate sheet, the left and right column and the home and visitor column. Left and right means end zone to end zone, going left and right on the football field. And home and visitor is front and back. This is going to tell you about your hashes, your sidelines, going towards which side you need to go to. All right, so let's grab our dot. This is us. And when we set our drill, we are usually not looking at it from this perspective. We are usually on the field looking at Mr. Dodson and looking at our drum major. So right here is our drum major in this box, and we are going to be on the football field here. So this is us, and we have set 1. We are on the left side 40. Now, it's from the home side perspective. So when they say left side, we're actually going to go to our right. Because if we flipped that and we looked at it again, the left side is over here from the home side perspective, and the right side is over here. But since we're not setting it that direction, we're on the field looking at our drum major, we're going to go the opposite. So it says left side 40-yard line. So I'm going to go to my right and go to the 40-yard line. Now I'm set here. Again, now that we've done our front to back, and we know where we are here, or our left to right, now we have to do our front to back. And this says 4 steps behind the visitor hash. So I'm going to stay on my yard line, and I'm going to go straight back here. I'm going to go 4 steps behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! And that's all I had to do. That is how you set a coordinate sheet. That's how you set your drill. So once you've got yourself in your spot, now you need to make sure that you fill in the picture with everyone else. So again, we're going to be from our perspective. We're looking at our audience, and I am Q1. That's me over there. So I was on the left side 40, and I was 4 steps behind. Ta-da. And I'm going to check it with my section leader, who will probably have the chart, or check it myself if I've got that too. And I am in the right spot. 40 visitor hash, 4 steps. 40 visitor hash, 4 steps. Perfect. Okay, let's do another one. So I'm going to go ahead and flip our perspective. This is where we were. Okay. Now for set number 2, I need to go on the left side, which is over here, half of a step outside the 45-yard line. Okay, so the 45-yard line is here, and I actually need to be half of a step outside of that yard line. So I'm going to go half a step. Okay, so my left to right is there. And now I need to, I couldn't take that with me. There we go. Let's put our coordinate there too. Okay, so we're half a step outside the 45-yard line, and now I have to be 7 3/4 of a step in front of the visitor hash. All right, so there's the home side line. There's the home hash. Here's the visitor hash. I need to go 7 3/4 of a step in front of it. So I'm going to move myself up to our visitor hash. All right, I got to take 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I need to take 3/4 of a step. Boom, and I am there. So that's all there is to it. That's all you have to do to actually set your coordinate. And then, of course, you can check that information with your section leader and see if it matches up to our chart, which is easier if we flip it upside down. So we're looking at our drum major right there. And you can see Q1, and that's where I was, just outside the 45, and for almost 8 steps. Yeah, so we are all set. So that is how you read a coordinate sheet and how you check it with a drill chart. Your section leaders and any upperclassmen, I'm sure, can help you with this. If you ever need assistance, you can also flag down an instructor, and we can help you with that too. But if I can reiterate anything that was super important in here, if you have this drill chart, that's cool. It is not a substitute for your coordinate sheet. This is the most important thing to have with you all the time. And you're going to want to keep this with you constantly at your rehearsals. So if you can, I would laminate it or stick it in your flip folder. Make sure that it always comes with you, because if you don't have this, it really helps. It really makes it harder for us to help you out in getting you set exactly where you need to be on the football field, because this gives us more information than this. We don't have all of your coordinate sheets. So when we're helping you set drill, we're given the chart and we have to figure out how close you are to certain things. Now, this drill chart, if I zoom it in really, really big, it's kind of blurry, but you can kind of see that I can see that there are, four little tiny grid marks here and four little tiny grid marks here, and there's two here because this is 4 steps and that's 8 steps. But yours tells us so much more than this does. So please make sure that you always bring your coordinate sheet to your rehearsals. So that way we can always make sure that our drill charts look and feel amazing. And that way you don't have any extra information. Again, if you have questions, feel free to post a comment on this video or reach out to your section leader or an instructor and we'll help you out. I hope this video was helpful for you as we get into our first week of band camp next week and get our show on the field, because the sooner we get our show on the field, the sooner we can put the music with it and get it ready for competitions. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next week at band camp.